Happy May the 4th, everyone! In honor of Star Wars Day, I've got a craft for us to do. We will be making a Death Star out of a paper plate. I know mine is a bit too dark, but that's because I mixed the paint myself. For this craft, you will need a paper plate, scissors, a pencil, a glue stick, something circular to trace, whiteout, black and white acrylic paint, a little dish or paper that you can mix your paint on, and black construction paper. Okay, first thing we do, we take our paper plate. We're going to be using this side, the back side of it. And we're going to use something circular. I have this little cup here. It's about, see this big? And we're going to use that. I'm going to use the bottom half to trace a circle onto our plate. That's going to create the laser eye. You want to place your circle about off to the side and kind of to the top, not right in the middle or right anywhere. You want to give it that 3D effect where it's at an angle. So you take your circular object, a pencil, and you just do a little trace. See? Now we've got our circle. How we're going to cut that out, we are going to bend the plate a little, which I know causes a crease, but paper plates are a little tough to cut. And so we get our bend, we take our scissors, and we do a little cut right into the middle. You see? Unbend the plate, and now through the hole that we've made, we are going to cut out our circle. Okay, as you can see, we've got a circle now. It may not be the most perfect circle. I tried my best to touch it up, but that's all right because we are going to have something in here and we're going to paint around, so it won't be as noticeable. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to get our paint ready. Now, I don't have any light gray paint, so I'm going to mix my own using white acrylic and black acrylic. When mixing paint, you want to put the light color first. So see, we put some white, and what happened with mine was I put far too much black when you actually need only a teeny tiny bit of black. Here, I'm gonna add even a little bit more white, just because. Then, and we're just gonna mix the two colors together now with our paintbrush, which I actually forgot to film when I was showing the supplies. So you want just a regular size paintbrush. And you're just gonna mix the two colors together. Try not to get too much black in. See, I think I even added a bit too much again. But you want a very light gray. If you don't think you're going to do well with mixing, feel free to just get some gray paint. But I unfortunately don't have any on hand, so I'm mixing my own. And then you just start painting your Death Star. See? And this will take a little while since it's a large surface, not too long. Give yourself a good 10 minutes or so. And it's going to be a little blotchy just because it's a paper plate. It's not like painting on paper. But yeah, so I'm not going to record this part because it takes a while. Okay. And here we have our finished Death Star, all nice and painted. Mine still turned out a bit too dark, so just be careful of that. But it's totally fine if it's not movie accurate. It's still a really fun craft. And then once we get the markings on, it's completely identifiable. You'll know what it is. So while we let that dry, we are going to cut a piece of construction paper. See, we're going to take our circular object again, and we want to cut a circle that's a bit bigger than the circle we have here because we want it to be able to attach to the back. So the little cup I have here luckily has a larger side. So we're going to put that down, give it a little trace. And feel free to, it doesn't need to be perfect because you're not going to see all of it. The edges are going to be hidden behind, they're going to be the part that's glued on. So don't worry, if you want to make sure it's nice and big, just make it nice and uneven. And we're gonna cut that out. See, I might even make mine a teensy bit bigger, just because I want to have a lot of room to attach on the back. And there we are. We've got a nice big circle. Let's compare it to the hole here. Oh yeah, much bigger. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to first cut a slit down the middle. You're not cutting this in half. You're just making a cut right down the middle. See, like that. Because what we're going to do with this is we're going to curve it into a nice circle, like a 3D cone kind of shape. See? So you want to overlap the sides there. That gives it the nice roundness. And then this edge here, we are going to glue to the back here. So you're going to want to attach it like this, because the look we're going for is like that, where we're creating a 3D cannon where you actually see the hole. Okay, if you want to tape the two ends together, because I found they can be a bit finicky, definitely go ahead. Again, no one's going to see this side, and so it can be as messy as you want. This also gives us a good chance to let our paint finish drying. So it's going like this. So let's put some glue on this side here. Okay, and give it a nice little curve. Go. Press it nice and tight. And then let's check our, oh yeah, this is nice and dry. You definitely want to check. Oh, and I should mention that the reason I did not do the outer edge is because my plate has a rim to it, as you can see, which it's not going to create a nice circle. So I'm going to cut off this excess. If your plate does not have that, then just paint to the edges. But I don't like the look of how that is for me, so I'm going to cut around the edge and cut off those edges. There we go. Put that aside. See, now it's more of a straight circle. And I'll probably just clean up some of the edges here that are a little big. Okay, so now that our plate is cut and we have our cone made, we are going to flip it over, and we're just going to put glue all around the edge here. And then very carefully, we're going to press our cone over top. Try not to lose the shape too much. Again, this is why it helps to make it bigger. Then you have more space to work with. And here we go. And let's just very carefully push it there. And now you see, we've got a nice 3D hole. That's gonna be our laser eye. Our next step, we've got glue on our hands. Let's put the glue away. Now, for our next step, we are going to create all the design. So as you can see here, what I did, I will put up a picture for reference because I know I needed to use a reference. But as you can see, I started with, we're going to do the line right down the middle, which I might even make a bit straighter. And then we've got the top lines and the bottom. And don't worry if your lines are not completely straight. This is a round ship, so it can have a curve to it. And I choose to use whiteout for this because I find the white will show up really well on the black paint. So let's get our white out. And we're going to mark right across. That's going to be our middle line. There we go. Also, if you make a mistake, it is totally possible once the whiteout dries to just fix it up with a bit of paint and maybe a skinny paintbrush. I know I had to do that for my first one. Because yeah, the lines are gonna be kind of wobbly. But there we go, there's our first line. And then we are going to do a couple going down. Or actually, let's do going upward first, because that's a little easier. So we want to do curve, try to keep the shape of the plate since this is a round ship. There we go, there's one. Let's do another over here. There we go. See, my lines aren't completely perfect, but I'll probably clean them up at the end. And I'd say let's do a tiny little line off to the side. Just because we have the space. So let's put it over here. There we go. Right there. And then this is our middle line. So now let's create some slightly curved lines at the bottom. Some horizontal ones. So let's go like this. There we go. That's a little thick. Also, I see that a bristle from my paintbrush came off on the plate. So let's take that off. So there's one line, and then let's add a second one underneath. Definitely feel free to use the reference photo as your guide because I know mine isn't exact. I'm trying my best based on the reference photo too. Next, let's do outline where the laser is. We're gonna go over this circle here. If you don't have any whiteout or you're not comfortable using whiteout, white paint works just as well. I just like that the whiteout comes with a tiny little brush and it goes over anything. There, see, that's a little messy, but we will fix that up after. Okay, next we're going to create our lines down here. Now they don't have to be completely matching up. In fact, there are different size spaces between them. So we'll make like a big rectangle here. And then we'll put the next line much closer. And then we'll create another bigger space. And then a little one. And then let's put one more over here. There we go. And you're just going to continue that down on the bottom here and across. We're just gonna leave this space blank and we're going to go across like this. That's a little crooked, but oh well. And across across. You want to try to get it to match up. And here we have our finished product. As you can see, I fixed up the inner circle with some marker just because it is pretty hard to make a nice circle with white out. And feel free to fix up anything else if you don't like a line. Like, as you can see, I painted over one of the lines I originally made because I thought it was too high, and then I redid it down here. Also, if you're interested in doing any more Star Wars related crafts or science projects, we actually have a book on that, 20 Craft and Science Projects. They're a little more advanced than this craft, but they're still really cool if you'd like to try one out. I hope you had fun. This is a pretty simple craft to do, and feel free to send photos to King Library's social media.